In the summer of 2023, a woman named Elise Morgan walked into a police station in Colorado Springs and asked to speak with someone from the Department of Defense. She didn't panic. She wasn't confused. She was calm, too calm, the officers would later say. She handed them a small metal card, thinner than paper, with no visible markings. She said, "This belongs to your future." At first, they thought she was delusional. But after 2 weeks in federal custody and 4 lie detector tests, each one passed with complete consistency, people started listening. Elise claimed she had been recruited, not by the U.S. government of today, but by a version of it that exists in the year 2137. She said she didn't travel through time in a machine. She said they pulled her consciousness, just her mind, not her body, across time, into a cloned version of herself. They didn't want to change the past, she explained. They wanted someone from before it all went wrong. When asked what went wrong, Elise paused, then simply said, "We found out the aliens weren't coming. They were already here." Her story began 6 months earlier, when she had been living a normal life as a research assistant at a small university. One night, she was walking home when everything around her went silent. The cars, the wind, even the distant hum of the city, all sound vanished. A light above her, white and pulsing, appeared out of nowhere, and she blacked out. She woke up in a room with no windows, surrounded by people who looked human but somehow off. Their eyes didn't blink. Their skin had no pores. One of them said, "You've been selected." Elise was told she had been chosen because of a specific genetic marker found in less than 0.001% of the population, a marker that made her consciousness more transferable. She was told that Earth was already under the control of a hidden alien race that had infiltrated human society over the last 100 years. But instead of taking over through war, they had done it through technology, media, and quiet influence. The invasion was nearly complete, and almost no one knew. She said the future government, which called itself AGEN, short for Agency for Global Infiltration Neutralization, was operating from a hidden facility on the dark side of the moon. They were not part of any official country. They had broken away after discovering the truth in 2091 and had been secretly fighting back ever since. AGEN had discovered that the alien species, known only as the Quiet Ones, had one weakness: their biology could not handle strong emotional resonance. Joy, rage, grief, these were frequencies they couldn't process. So AGEN began recruiting people from Earth's past, people who lived before society became as numb and automated as it was in the 2100s. They believed that by studying the past, they could weaponize human emotion. Elise was trained for 3 months in their lunar base, inside a simulation chamber that let her relive intense emotional memories, some real, some implanted, to sharpen her resonance. She was never physically touched, but she said the emotional exhaustion was worse than any torture. Then one day, everything changed. During a routine training session, the simulation froze. A voice, not from AGEN, whispered in her ear, "You're not supposed to be here." The lights went out. Emergency sirens echoed. Something had breached the base. Elise never saw the attackers, but she heard them, like 1,000 whispering voices crawling through her mind. She collapsed, and when she woke up, she was back in 2023. On a park bench. In her original body. Holding that strange metal card. The story made its way to a few journalists, most of whom dismissed her as mentally unstable. But there were inconsistencies. Medical tests showed anomalies in her brain, regions with unusually high activity and neural connections seen only in advanced meditators or savants. Her memories of events that hadn't yet happened were disturbingly detailed. She spoke of people who didn't yet exist, technologies just starting development, and world events no one else could have predicted. 3 months after she went public, she disappeared. The last person to see her was a podcaster who had interviewed her in person. He claimed that, after the interview, they walked outside and a black SUV with no plates pulled up. 2 men in gray suits asked Elise to come with them. She looked at the podcaster and said, "This is the part they always change." Then she got in. She was never seen again. The story might have died there, another internet oddity, until a strange thing happened. A retired NASA engineer named David Langford came forward. He had watched Elise's interview and recognized the metal card she had shown. "We found something just like it," he said, "on a probe we sent to the moon. We never told the public." According to Langford, in 1996, A deep space probe returned with a fragment of unknown alloy embedded in its casing. It wasn't from space debris. It wasn't from Earth. It looked just like the card Elise had. The fragment was classified and buried in NASA's vaults. It was never mentioned again. When asked why he was speaking now, Langford said, "Because the energy readings we got from that card, they just started pulsing again. 2 weeks ago." More pieces started to emerge. A linguist in Brazil claimed to have translated part of a signal Elise's card emitted when scanned under infrared light. The message, when decoded, read, "Do not trust the silence. They are already listening." A hacker group called Orion's Wake got involved. They claimed to have intercepted a private satellite transmission showing a massive artificial structure on the moon's dark side, exactly where Elise said Agen's base had been. Governments denied it all. Then came the biggest twist. A university lab in Denmark, while running AI simulations to test neural networks, accidentally picked up a data signature in their system. It was a recording deeply buried in unused code, audio of a woman repeating a phrase over and over in different tones. "If you are hearing this, I was not crazy. I was not lying. I was chosen because I felt too much. And they couldn't control me." The voice matched Elise Morgan's exactly. The lab had no connection to Elise or to any U.S. institution. The audio file was time-stamped from 7 months before she ever went public. Was Elise telling the truth? Had she been recruited by a future government fighting an invisible alien enemy? Or had someone somewhere gone to incredible lengths to stage the most elaborate hoax in modern history? No one knows for sure. But here's the strangest part. Every person who's tried to dig into Elise's background, her birth certificate, school records, employment history, has found strange inconsistencies. Dates don't match. Addresses don't exist. Some professors she supposedly worked under say they don't remember her, but others swear she was their best student. It's as if someone rewrote her life in pieces, like a puzzle that never fits completely. And recently, a new video surfaced on a dark web forum. It's grainy, full of static, but the woman on screen looks just like Elise. She's older. Her hair is gray. She stares into the camera and says only one thing. This message is from the year 2137. We failed. But if you're hearing this, you still have time. The video ends with coordinates that point directly to the dark side of the moon.